All right, this is a video for a friend who reached out to me, who wanted advice on starting men's groups. And what I've realized is that I've had this chat many times. So this is not only for my buddy, my new buddy, who I will call Rick for the sake of Rick's identity. But he saw Logan Ury on Diary of a CEO, wanted to reach out, wanted to hear, how I had started the men's group and that advice. So logging this here so that I can just have it on YouTube and send it to folks in the future. This is going to be a really fast overview. We're going to do 7 minutes or less on the questions that we got from my friend here. And we'll see what's up, and then we can double click and go downstream from there. So the main question is, how did I go about starting this group? And how did I end up getting 2 men's groups that are really healthy and really growing in the Bay Area? How did that actually happen? Now, there's a lineage here from John Wineland that goes to Ted Ryder, that then goes to me, which feels even weird to say, but my first men's group was by this guy, Ted Ryder, and he really showed me the light and really helped me understand what could be done. My groups look maybe a little bit different now, but do want to honor kind of the genesis of where this came from. So for me, what started to happen was I mentioned that I was in one of Ted's men's groups to a lot of different people, and they started to say, hey, could you do one for us? Could you organize one for us? These were my friends, colleagues, friends of friends, friends of friends' wives and husbands, etc. And so for me, the first thing is, like, if you just start verbalizing that you want to do this and you just start verbalizing that you're interested in this, people will self-select and they will say, hey, that would be interesting. And you could even do a big group text to 20 of your buddies or whatever it is, or a BCC a bunch of people and say, hey, I'm starting this thing. Here's the goals. Here's why we're doing it, and go from there. If you just go on ChatGPT and type in, give me a sample framework or give me a sample email that I could send to get people in a men's group, they're going to nail it. And I think just going intrinsically inside and saying, hey, why am I doing this? And for me, it was, I wanted a safe space where people could be vulnerable. I wanted a safe space where people could be held accountable. And I wanted to see my friends more often and just get to a layer of depth. The basketball games and the baseball games are great. The barbecues are great, right? But how do we hold that space? And so I went about starting this by messaging a bunch of people, getting that interest, and then saying, hey, we're going to do a 6-month container. Basically, you're in for 6 months. You really need to attend every meeting. You can maybe miss one. It's going to be in person, and just lay out all those kind of little rules and bullet points. And you honestly are good to go. I think sometimes the bar is too high to join a men's group, but if you're pretty transparent about that, that's going to be the move. I'm happy to send you email templates and things like that. But for the sake of this, it is pretty straightforward. So that's how I began starting the group. One of the groups is all in San Francisco. One of the groups goes back and forth between San Francisco and Oakland. And we do it at people's houses. So I am lucky that my living room is really good for it. My living room is really good for it. So that's great. And then other people, maybe their wives go out, for dinner, and then we're able to do it at their place. Sometimes we eat dinner together. Sometimes we order in food. You'll find the layer here. Okay. My friend here gave me a bunch of good background. I'll address that in a second video. That's just to him, obviously. And yeah, I totally feel you on not knowing where to start. Like, not knowing where to start is confusing, but honestly, just starting is really the key. So to make this easy, it's like, hey guys, come over for 3 hours, and basically here's what the template is going to be. For the first 5 to 10 minutes, this is what I've arrived on. First 5 to 10 minutes, we're gonna meditate. We're gonna drop in, we're gonna breathe. Even if you don't meditate, it's gonna be fine. And we just do that, and I guide a small meditation, or I use one from the Waking Up app, or I use one from Henry Schuckman. It's called The Way. There's a lot of roads to Rome here. So we do that, okay? The next thing I do is we all go around and we say the predominant feeling that is in our body and in our mind right now, currently. So, hey guys, I'm feeling super tired. I'm feeling super worn down because of X, Y, and Z. The reason we're doing this is because you want people to know why you're showing up with that energy, so they don't create a narrative and a story about, why is Jeff being weird today, right? So mad, sad, glad, shame, fear, tired, emotional. Like, you don't have to get super into this, but 20, 30 seconds, say what's up for you, and go from there, okay? We do that. Then I do, what do you want to get out of tonight? The beautiful thing about that is sometimes people are like, you know what, I'm freaking good. I just want to hold space, be here for the brothers, cool. Other times people are like, hey, I've got something that's really burning. I really need love and attention. And you just say, what do you want? That allows me as a facilitator to be in flow and be like, oh shit, right? Bob needs this tonight. Rick needs this. Okay, cool. I got it, right? You start to get a sense of things, okay? So that's really real. And when you open up with your first session, diving deeper into the question of why did you want to be here? Why are you in a men's group? What success in 6 months? Writing goals on the wall. I'm all about the wall and Post-it notes. Writing that down. We keep that as kind of a manifesto of, hey, in 6 months, Rick, Jeff said that he wants to be closer to his sister, really start his own business, and lose 20 pounds. Okay, here we freaking go. Sign up, right? So that's the layer there. I hope that really helps with just how that starts. So far we have done meditation, predominant feeling in your body. Why are you here tonight? And then I do rounds of celebration where everyone does 2 to 3 celebrations, right? Really fast, gets the energy up, gets people in a good mood. You don't have to be in a good mood, but it helps. And then I do the thorn. So it's like, and what's bothering you? What really sucks? Hey, my car just got towed. Hey, I'm gonna break up with XY. Hey, my mom's sick. Hey, right? And it just starts the stew. I think that group size of 6 is ideal. That's what I have found, because then everyone gets a voice and everyone can be heard. That's the layer. Now, so you asked, what was your approach? That's pretty much it. Do you or one of the other members act as a discussion facilitator? Yeah, I do. In those early days, I am making sure that I guide traffic and flow, saying, we don't time people anymore, but in other circles they do. And so that, you might need a timekeeper and things like that. But what I find is I like to let people get to the bottom of the well. I like to let people go really deep and not be like tick, tick. So that's up to you. Do you have a designated meeting location? We talked about that, and that's been really good. You said you don't have any educational background in psychology or social work. Cool. I don't either, but I've read so many books and I really study it, and I've looked at YouTube videos, and obviously Ted and John and all these guys have really helped me. And so I think you're going to be just fine. And what I believe is that consciousness mostly will take this. If you are open and you are clear that we're not here to just give advice and yell at each other, right? We are here to hold space. You will be able to guide it. I promise you. And I'm happy to help you on this. If you message me and guide through and say, hey, there was this weird situation. But if you have a group of men who are at least semi-adept, right, at not just butting in and stuff, you won't have to facilitate too much. But we can work on that a little bit more. I could do another video on it. And that's the layer. So I said 7 minutes. I'm at 7:12. What else is missing here? Oh, the procedure. The procedure around how we source ideas. So I don't have the Post-it notes on me, so I'll use playing cards. But essentially, when people come in, they get 2 Post-it notes, and they write down on their 2 Post-it notes, or you can do it as the facilitator, the 2 things that are up for them. Okay. So if you asked me to do it today, right, I would be talking about being burnt out from doing too many gigs. Okay. And a dating update and where I'm at, okay? And that's that, right? Those go on the wall, and then we move through the Post-it notes as the night goes on, and often I will start by saying, who really needs to burn here? Who really has something? And someone will be like, yeah, I just had this fight with my sister. I got to do this, right? And we go from there. The last thing that I'll add is we do these things called Wednesday Waffles, which essentially are videos every Wednesday, about 3 minutes, because since we only meet once a month, we like to bring people along. And then I think just also being honest, right? As facilitator, you get to ask the question. You get to say, hey, what do you need in this moment from us? Strategy, advice, being heard, etc., a brainstorm, and you'll navigate that. And then just be open to feedback and say, hey, how'd that go? How was that, etc. The last thing I'll say as we try to make this all one video is basically that at the end, we do this thing, which I got from Ted Ryder, which is a praise circle where we go around and we praise each other and we say, hey, today, Rick, you really showed up with da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I really appreciate that. And so we can talk about those details, but that is 9 minutes on men's groups, layer 1. Take a second, process and flow, and then let's see where we go from there. But the fact that you're on this journey to do this, I think it's one of the greatest things in the world. I think it's literally healing, men and the people that come in contact with them. And I don't care about the gender, right? I'm thinking about doing a mixed group soon of anyone who identifies as anything. Love is love, and that's the layer. Okay, man. Thanks for the opportunity to serve here, and I really appreciate it. We'll go from there. Cool. Thanks.